It's freaking Wednesday. I don't even know. Today is April 21st. And I'm Derek O'Shea, and this is the Derek O'Shea Show. Speaking of Derek Chauvin was convicted of literally everything, but it seems to me it's set up for an appeal. That's only a matter of time. He's also on suicide watch as he spends his first night in prison. And it seemed like every single news outlet yesterday was letting us know that justice was served. Of course, it didn't matter how he was convicted or not convicted. They wanted to let us know that justice was served and people could breathe again. Like the Oakland Raiders putting out a post saying, "I can breathe now." People went nuts over that. I can't. It's so tone deaf that I can't tell if it's a joke. That's why it's so. When I first read it out, my dyslexia read I can't breathe, but then I read it again and I was like, oh, I can't breathe now. I can breathe now. Come on. People are outraged by it, but at the same time, I don't mind. You should laugh because it's funny, because it's so dumb. But also, if you feel like being outraged, I don't be outraged, I guess. It's just somebody that with a lot of power trying to speak up and have a voice like all these other stupid politicians. Speaking of stupid politicians, Biden and Kamala Harris immediately called the family of George Floyd to let him know that he changed the world. And then took to the stage to unify the country and bring us all together and bring down the rhetoric and the temperature of the country. Oh, wait a minute. Biden said that systematic racism was a stain on American soul. That's right. You had one moment to bring us together, unify us, but no, you continued the rhetoric because what? This verdict doesn't matter because there's a bigger problem. And when you say things like systematic, I wonder if you even know what you're saying. Because if it's a system, we have to take out the system, including you. You're part of the problem. You're a white man in power. Gross. You are the system. I mean, as I've seen pictures of you holding hands with KKK members, and whatever. These are just things that are happening. You had one moment. And just got to keep up the rhetoric, because why? This is how they stay in power. They want you to feel like they're helping you. And they're here, as Kamala says, the government is here to help. So let's continue the rhetoric so we stay in power for another 4 years. Yeah, sure. Many leftists like AOC said things like, this is not justice. But Don Lemon said it's justice. And so did a lot of news outlets. I'm confused. Is it justice or is it not justice? Because justice plus not justice plus justice plus not justice equals systematic racism. Everyone knows that. That's math. Nancy Pelosi said, "Thank you, George, for sacrificing your life for justice." Sometimes I feel like politicians just keep their mouth shut. Again, if I ever run for any political party, my slogan will be, "I will leave you alone and you won't hear from me." Activists go nuts over a police shooting of a black teenager in Ohio. I can't believe that happened, right? Oh, wait, I've seen the video. So 4 people were fighting in the front of this yard, and fights broke out, and then the officers come to the scene, and guess what? The woman that got shot had a knife in her hand, even though media reports said that the knife was on the ground, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was on the ground after she was shot, but you see in the video her holding a knife and her cocking the knife back, ready to stab another girl, and the officer shot the woman as she was about to stab another person. What do you want these cops to do in this situation? They literally have no backing from anybody. You send in the social worker and let the social worker say, "Hey, please don't stab that person." Oh, dang it. You stabbed him, man. Why did you stab him? What was going on in your head? If you're a cop right now, I salute you and I thank you for your serving, especially if you're a good cop and you care about your community. But if you're in a blue state or blue city, at this point, the politicians hate you. A lot of people that live there hate you. I just don't understand why you would work there. Black Lives Matter demands Garcetti defund LAPD. What I'm saying there's an entire system that needs to be upended. Could you imagine LA with 0 cops? God, that place is already nuts. And let's just make it more nuts. Yes. Black Lives Matter. Is this the Black Lives Matter of the woman that lives in Topanga with the 5 different properties worth over $5 or $6 million? Yes. Get rid of the police. Because I'm doing just fine. I don't know about all those people that live in the inner city. I wonder how those people in the inner city feel. Michael Moore, speaking of idiots, Michael Moore, Hollywood celebrate the verdict, saying, end the policing as we know it. As always, Hollywood, get rid of the police, man. We just need community enforcement, like AOC. We just need... You have never lived in a bad neighborhood, then. Because I have. I like the police when I live in bad areas because why? They're probably the only reason to save me. And also the areas I lived in, like when I lived in Chicago, I couldn't have a gun. So who could save me with somebody with a gun? Not me, probably a cop with a gun. But no, let's get rid of the cops. As I have my $50,000 security detail. Why are all these Americans so obsessed with their freaking guns when I have my security? How much is security detail? $50,000? No big deal. These average Americans don't need guns to protect themselves. I need guns though, because I'm important. I'm Michael Moore. I make documentaries. Blah, 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 blah. Michael, sorry. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said changes to the police force would be coming soon. That's right, because that's the big problem in Chicago right now, is the cops need to be changed. Not like, the 25 people that got shot last weekend and the 5 people dead. That's not a problem, and that's like an average weekend for Chicago. That's not a problem. It's the freaking cops that are a problem in Chicago. And so these guns from Indiana, blah, blah, blah. She said there is no perfect solution, but no one should die from a foot chase. Not a single person should die for a foot chase, even if you're being shot at, or maybe, someone has a knife and stuff like that. Those cops don't need to protect their lives. They need to just figure out a way to survive. Speaking of surviving, Christie is seriously considering running for freaking president in 2024, his friends reveal. Why? What a waste of money. Do not give that guy money. It will be Trump running for the Republican Party. What? Christie, why? You're such a grifter, dude. You were on CNN all last year against Trump, and now you're on Fox again, and it's just like, ugh. Just say you want to be on TV. Just say you want to be popular. Why do people care about freaking Christie? I don't like anything that guy stands for, and I can't stand his politics. Anyways, famed atheist Richard Dawkins has Humanist of the Year award revoked for questioning transgenderism. Nothing's better than when the liberals eat their own. You should go after Bill Maher, too. Putin warns foreign rivals not to cross the red line. Do not cross this red line, or else. And accuses the West of picking on Russia. They pick on the mother Russia. In an annual speech, well, get this. 120,000 of his troops are prepped for war on the Ukraine border. That's right. Russia is being picked on. We have to be at Ukraine. We have to do this. Don't make us do this. Everything is reminds me of abusive victim. Just stop hitting yourself. We have to do. I have to hit you. It's so crazy. And again, we're so obsessed with ourselves. We're not even watching what's going on in the world. As always, Burgess Owens said, I actually experienced Jim Crow law. And it's disgusting and offensive to compare it to the Georgia election law. Duh. I don't understand how when Joe Biden says this crap and all these other liberals say this crap, how it's not conceived as racism, because it is. You can't just say that and just offensive and people that actually live. I mean, could you imagine getting beat up and then somebody saying that, hey, I experienced the same thing as you. And you're like, how? And you're like, because you called me an idiot. So when you called me an idiot and then I punched you in the face, it's the same pain. It's the same thing. It's still aggressive. We live in a silly world where words can mean so many things. Suspected criminals in Mexico have dropped bombs using drones on police, injuring 2 officers. So that's happening in Mexico. Yes, the cartels are no problem. They're not a terrorist organization that needs to be dismantled and ruining entire border and causing a lot of migrants to cross and causing abuse victims and people to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to come across the border. No. And then the reason for a lot of our fentanyl and no. And huge crime rates and gangs and all this stuff. No. It's not a big deal. Let's just forget about it. Mexico's just good people down there. Good, hardworking people. That's it. There's no bad people anywhere. Only white people are bad. Germany's parliament passes national virus law to impose tougher measures amid the pandemic. Don't you love the smell of authoritarianism? Smells like power. And today in history, speaking of power, in 753 BC, Rome was founded. I wonder how that turned out. It's still a city, so it's okay. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy your day. This world is nuts. Seriously, this world is insane, and words don't have meaning anymore, and we criticize everything. There's no good news anywhere. It's just like, it's a hard time to it's a hard time in our country to say it's not, and Joe Biden's only encouraging it. So, have a fantastic day, and my encouragement to you is to make a difference in someone else's life today. Just find somebody that looks like they're having a rough day and ask them how they're doing, and then have a conversation with them, because that's what we need in this country, is more people willing to engage in conversations with one another despite our differences, despite our political parties, despite what we view, how we feel the country should run, or what president should be involved, and all that stuff. So that's my encouragement to you. Don't be scared. Be brave. Have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show.